Hello students, today we are going to discuss a new topic, motion in a plane. Motion in a plane. In that motion in a plane, we are going to discuss vectors concept. Before going to that vectors concept, we have to know the physical quantity. Physical quantity. What is meant by physical quantity? Physical quantity is nothing but any substance which can be measurable. Any substance which can be measurable will be taken as a physical quantity. So here these physical quantities are depending upon the magnitude and direction. They are classified into two types. One is scalar, another one is vector, depending upon the magnitude and direction. So magnitude and direction. So these physical quantities are classified into scalar and vector. What is meant by a scalar? Scalar is nothing but a physical quantity which has only magnitude. Only magnitude. It doesn't have direction. So it is called a scalar. So generally examples. So here the distance, speed, okay na. Next mass, next temperature, next heat, okay na, pressure, all these, right, these are belongs to scalar. Now come to vectors. What is meant by vector? Vector is nothing but a physical quantity which has magnitude and direction, and also which obeys the laws of vector addition. Okay na? So whenever a physical quantity has magnitude and direction and also which obeys the laws of vector addition, then that physical quantity will be taken as a vector. Okay na? Vector. Now the examples. Displacement, okay na. Next vector, displacement is a vector, and velocity, acceleration, and force, momentum, impulse, and these quantities are taken as the vector quantities. Okay na. So you have to remember, whenever a physical quantity is going to be represented as a vector, then it should have magnitude, direction, and also it must obey the laws of vector addition. Right. Now I am going to give one example. For example, here these are the three conductors, conductor 1, conductor 2, and conductor 3. The current passing through the first conductor will be taken as I1 is equal to 2 ampere, let us assume, and the current passing through the second conductor will be equal to I2, that is equal to 3 ampere. Then the current passing through this one I3 is equal to I1 plus I2, that is equal to 2 plus 3, that is equal to 5 ampere. So here this electrical current has magnitude and direction. Here magnitude value is 2 is the magnitude, and this is the direction. So electrical current has magnitude and direction even though it has magnitude and direction, it's not a vector quantity. So electrical current has magnitude and direction, but it doesn't obey laws of vector addition. So here the electrical current does not obey the laws of vector addition. That's why it is not a vector quantity. Electrical current is a scalar quantity. This is the important point. Okay. So sir, how can I know here the electrical current does not obey the laws of vector addition? Let us see. Actually, in this case, for example, here it is a one vector. There is another vector. Let us assume this will be a bar vector, this will be b bar vector. Now these two vectors are going to be added when they are parallel to each other. Here a bar, this will be a bar, this will be b bar. Then this is the resultant vector, that is a bar plus b bar. When two vectors are going to be parallel, then only they can be added. But here, if electrical current will be treated as a vector quantity, but these electrical currents are not parallel to each other, they are making certain angle with each other. So even though they are making certain angle, they are going to be added. But this will be possible only when the vectors are parallel to each other. Even though they are not parallel to each other, here we are going to adding. So that's why this is not the laws of vector addition. So that's why electrical current does not obey the laws of vector addition. So hence electrical current will be taken as a scalar quantity. So this is the important point. Okay, right. Students, now what is meant by a position vector? Generally there are different types of vectors. So now first of all, position vector. What is meant by position vector? For example, let it be taken a coordinate system, x-axis and y-axis. Now in this xy plane, let us assume here it is a one particle or a point. Now the position of point will be represented with the two coordinates x comma y. Now this is the origin. What is meant by position vector? Means a vector which represents the position of a given point. So this will be taken as the position vector, that is OP bar. This will be taken as OP bar. So therefore OP bar is equal to, it is equal to R bar. R bar is equal to, actually this P point will be at a distance of x along the x direction and at a distance of y along the y direction. So to represent x direction, then we should write into I cap, plus to represent the y component along the y direction, it should be represented with j cap. So this is the position vector. So here I cap, j cap are the unit vectors. So here I cap, j cap, k cap, all these are unit vectors. So these are unit vectors. What is meant by unit vector? Unit vector is nothing but a vector whose magnitude is unity. So here the magnitude is equal to 1, magnitude of j cap is 1, magnitude of k cap is also equal to 1. Now this will be taken along the x axis. Okay na? This will be taken along the y axis. This will be taken along the z axis. So here, for example, sir, where we are going to use this I cap, j cap, k cap? This is the main important point. For example, a body is going to move along the x axis with a speed of 3 meter per second. Then we can write velocity along the x direction will be equal to, this is the example, v is equal to 3 meter per second. It is along the x direction, that's why it will be represented as I cap. Then you should write Vx bar. For example, if the body is going to move with a velocity 5 meter per second along the y direction, so 5 meter per second along y axis, then we can represent this velocity Vy bar, velocity along the y direction will be equal to 5 into j cap. This is the meter per second. So if the same body is going to move with 5 meter per second velocity along negative y axis, then velocity will be represented as vy bar is equal to 5 into, this will be represented along the negative y direction. That's why it will be taken as minus of j cap. So this will be equal to minus 5 j cap. Similarly, if a body is going to move along z direction, so if body moves along z axis with 7 meter per second, then it will be represented as velocity along the z direction, that is represented with bar, will be equal to 7 into, so it should be represented as cap. So therefore Vz bar is equal to 7k cap. So this is the symbol. And one more thing you have to remember. So here if a vector is having I cap, j cap, k cap, or only it has I cap, then it is also a vector. So to represent vector, that notation must have at least I cap, at least j cap, at least k cap, or I j cap, whatever it may be. But that quantity must represented with in these terms. So then that is called as a vector. For example, I am going to write so like this. If I am going to write 5, there is no I cap, there is no j cap, there is no k cap along this one. So that's why it is a scalar quantity. It is a scalar. Means it is a magnitude. For example, it will be represented as 5 I cap. Then it is a vector quantity. And it is directed along the x direction. For example, here a quantity will be taken as 2 I cap plus 3 j cap. Then it is also nothing but a vector quantity, but it is represented not along x-axis, not along y-axis. It is in xy plane, because there is I cap, there is j cap, means this is in the first quadrant. This is x and y. So x component is positive, y component is also positive, means both are in positive in the first quadrant. So that's why it is in the first quadrant only. So let us assume this will be the vector. So here it is the vector. Okay, na? Right. Next one, displacement vector. What is meant by displacement vector? Displacement vector. So what is meant by displacement vector? Let us see. Generally, for example, here it will be taken as x-axis and y-axis. Now there are two position vectors. This will be P. This is the one position vector that will be equal to r1 bar. Let us assume here it is another point Q. This will be also the position vector r2 bar. So here both are representing in this direction. Now this will be the displacement vector, that is r bar. So from vectors, addition of vectors, then r1 bar plus r bar will be equal to r2 bar. Therefore r bar is equal to r2 bar minus r1 bar. This is the important point. So immediately you are getting one confusion, sir, how it will be happen. Let us see one example. Actually, in the case of vector addition, how the vectors are going to be added? Let us see. This will be one vector. Let us assume this will be a bar vector. And there is another vector b bar. Now this is the initial point of a bar vector. This is the final point of a bar vector. Now the initial point of b bar vector must be coincide with the final point of a bar vector. Then we can add these two vectors like this. This will give the resultant vector, that is nothing but a bar plus b bar. This is the resultant vector, that is c bar. So here, from here to here and here to here, a bar b bar, then it is c bar vector. So that's why we are going to write like this. Next one. So next point. Okay na? So unit vector is nothing but magnitude must be equal to 1. Okay na? So magnitude must be equal to 1. For example, so let a vector a bar is given by a bar is equal to axi cap plus ayj cap plus azk cap. These are the components of a bar vector along x-axis, along y-axis, along z-axis. Now unit vector means, therefore unit vector of a bar is given by, okay na, is a cap. Therefore this is the unit vector. A cap is equal to a bar by modulus of a bar. Now a cap will be taken as again axi cap plus ayj cap plus azk cap by modulus of a bar. Now this is the important point. Modulus of a bar vector means coefficient of I cap whole square plus coefficient of j cap whole square, ay whole square, plus coefficient of z, that is az whole square, and under root. This is the procedure to find out the magnitude of a vector. So now by using this formula we can find out the unit vector of a bar vector. The unit vector of a bar vector. Now you have to remember this one. Next one. For example, here there is a vector. Now the vector, this will be taken as a bar vector. Now the vector is displaced parallel to itself. Then there is no change in the magnitude and direction of the vector. Means whenever a vector is going to be displaced parallel to itself, then the direction and magnitude will not going to be variable. So this is the important point. Next one, like vectors. So what is meant by like vector? So this is also called as parallel vector. So what does it mean? Means here like vectors means, for example, this will be taken as a one vector, a bar vector. This will be taken as a another vector, b bar vector. If both vectors are parallel, both are in the same direction, then they are called parallel vectors. They are also called as like vectors. So when they are parallel, then angle between them is equal to 0. Right. And in this case, you have to remember here the magnitude of a bar vector. Magnitude means from here to here, initial point to final point, and from initial point to final point. In this case, magnitude of A is lesser than the magnitude of B, but they can be treated as parallel vectors. Parallel vectors means here the direction of both vectors should be directed towards a single point, and they are parallel, but the magnitudes may not be equal, may be equal or may not be equal. If they are equal, then they are called as equal vectors. If their magnitudes are equal, they are called equal vectors. And one more thing, anti-parallel vectors or unlike vectors means if both vectors are acting in opposite direction, means for example b bar is in this direction, a bar is in opposite direction, then that is called anti-parallel vector, that is called unlike vectors. Okay na? So this is called anti-parallel vector, anti-parallel vectors. So in this case, this will be taken as b bar vector and it will be taken as a bar vector. Here the magnitudes may be different. So when both vectors are in opposite direction, then theta value is equal to 180 degree. So this is called anti-parallel vectors or unlike vectors. Unlike vectors. So you have to remember. Next one. So here null vector. Null vector. What is meant by null vector or zero vector? Zero vector. Null vector is nothing but a vector whose magnitude is 0. Magnitude value 0 vectors are called as null vectors. Magnitude 0 means, for example, if you are going to take a vector, then this is the initial point, this is the final point. Now to get the 0 magnitude, initial point, final point, both should be coincide. So here both should be coincide. Okay na? So in this case, when the initial point, final points are coincide, then magnitude value is 0, then such type of vector is called a null vector. So we cannot give the specific direction for the null vector. Okay na? So these are the things you have to remember. And one more point. For example, multiplication of a vector. Multiplication of a vector with scalar. Right. What happened? For example, here this will be a vector that is equal to a bar vector. Now let us assume k is a scalar, means it is a value. So here k may be 2 or 3 or whatever it may be. For example, let us assume k is equal to 2. Now k into a bar. Whenever a vector is multiplied with a scalar, then magnitude will be increased, but the direction will not be changed. Means this will be like this. So this is equal to Ka bar. Ka bar. So here in the first case, only vector A is having this much amount of magnitude. But whenever the vector is multiplied with a scalar, then its magnitude is going to be increased, but the directions are not same, not varied. So both are same. So this is the important point. So you have to remember. So next one, representation of angle between two vectors. Representation of angle between two vectors. So here how the angle between two vectors is going to be find out. There are some cases. First one, actually while you are going to define the angle between two vectors, for example, this is a one vector. Okay na? This will be a bar, this will be b bar. Okay na? Now I am going to find out the angle between two vectors. In this case, you have to remember, while representing the angle between two vectors, the initial points must be coincide. If they are not coincide, then you can displace either of a vector parallel to itself until the initial points must be coincide. So in this case, initial points are not coinciding. So now b bar vector is parallelly displaced parallel to itself. A bar again a bar. Now b bar vector is displaced parallel to itself. B bar b bar. So now both initial points are coincide. Then it is the angle between two vectors. That is important point. Next one. So right. So it is a bar vector and this is a b bar vector. Now angle between a bar and b bar vector is equal to theta. If b bar vector is going to be multiplied with a scalar, then what is the angle between a bar and kb bar vector? That is the question. So here a bar vector is not going to be changed and that's why a bar. Now b bar vector is going to be multiplied with a scalar, that is kb bar. Then also here the magnitude only increased, but the direction is not going to be changed. So that's why This one is parallel to this one, and a bar parallel. So that's why angle between them is equal to theta. Again, angle between a bar and kb bar is equal to theta. And last point. So here this will be taken as a bar vector. This will be taken as b bar vector. Angle between them is equal to theta. Now the same point, same a bar vector, a bar vector. Here this will be b bar vector, b bar vector. But here b bar vector is multiplied. So this will be taken as minus kb bar, means negative vector of b bar. Negative vector of b bar means opposite to b bar vector is multiplied with a scalar. Then its magnitude will be increased. So actually this will be theta. Then what is the angle between a bar and minus kb bar? This angle we have to find out. So in this case, initial point of a bar, initial point of minus kb bar, both are coincide. Then it is the angle between them. Total angle is 180. This one is theta. Then it is equal to 180 minus theta. So like that we can find out the angle between any two vectors. So these are the points. Okay.